I'm Jim Edwards. I'm the owner, the manufacturer, the designer of Jim Edwards bridle bits. I never intended on being a bit maker. Rode a horse for a living. Where this started was I was born in Fort Sumner, New Mexico. It's a long ways from anywhere. And if you needed something, you had to make it. There wasn't a store to go buy it. There wasn't any place to get it. My dad was a very good braider. He made his own saddles and sure did all the repairs. And if you had a problem on a ranch horse and you can't get it figured out, we just sat down, take what you had that was there around, and all those old ranches out there have a big shop and they got places because you're always working on a windmill or a bulldozer or something. We'll just take what we had and put it together to try to meet a need that we had. The very first one ever, the rod out of a shock absorber, pulled it out and heated it and made a port out of it. And then Braze took a pitchfork tine and made the shanks out of it. It wasn't any good, and I wish I still had it, but it was the first one, and it just gradually moved on from that. My father run great big places, several hundred sections, and run lots and lots of yearlings. We run big cow and calf operations, but would have anywhere between 35 and 110, 115 head of geldings. Horsemanship was very, very important in my family, and I got a big family. They're all were involved in it. Everybody took it very seriously, and wanted it to be better. And then from that background, if you ride one in a straight line every day for many, many years, gathering cows, covering country, you start to figure out things and you start to become more efficient. You want that horse to make it easier on him, easier on you. If you're gathering 6, 7, 8, 10,000 head of yearlings, you get pretty tired about it after the first week. You're trying to become efficient, fewer steps. So whenever you get on that morning, if you're having a problem, you'd rather not. You would rather just get him to ride on off and be good. And that was the beginning of my evolvement into where that we are now. It was from natural. Nobody told me this stuff. There were a lot of people that helped me. You can't tell people this. You have to learn it on your own. I moved to Fort Worth in 1980. I moved from out west because I was tired of starving. That life's a great life, but you better love it because you're not going to make any money. And what there was to do here, I got to make a living. I'm too lazy to work and too nervous to steal, so I had to do something with the horse. And so I rope for a living for as much as I could, but I traded lots of horses. Rode colts for a lot of trainers around, but I liked the trade. I liked that. And as you begin to trade more and more, you're going to buy one on Monday, you're going to get rid of him on Friday, and he needs to be $200 better on Friday than he was on Monday. So, and you had to figure out certain things that created an adverse response. You had to figure out, you wanted him to look better than he actually was. And what I figured out through riding all those horses was there's certain things that you just can't do to them in order to get a good positive response off of them. Whenever that you picked your hand up, what that bridle bit did, if it was creating a problem, that was costing me money. And that's where all this comes from. And then it just evolved into the cutting horse industry for the most part, was where they really started. And then the reiners, and now we're branching out into the barrel horse. But the thing is, they're all exactly the same. You do something, give them a problem, you tell them a lie by putting the wrong thing in their mouth. And if you hurt them too much, you're going to trigger an adverse reaction. It's not going to be good. And so that all these bits are about is very, very simple. All they're about is taking the pressure off of their tongue and slowing the rider's hand down. If you take it from that concept, that the signal is slow and we're not hurting them. We don't want them to, whenever that you go catch him and you go hang that bridle on him, that he starts puffing up and getting tight and stiff. What our whole deal's about is you developing a positive relationship with that horse. We want to release anxiety. It's a big deal with us. We don't want you to get hurt. And we don't want you to hurt that horse. And we want you to have a good time because we're asking you to make an investment in this. These are not exactly cheap. But it's very worthwhile, and we'll help you through it. We'll try to give you all the information that we can, and we'll help you through it every step of the way if we can.